showtime.
Fire and water, earth and the sky, mysteries surround us, legends never die. Live here for the moment, lost in time. I can hear them call, they're locked within the crystal ball.
Alright, hello everybody, and welcome back to more of legendary hunting in the Ultra Wormholes. So, we got no time to waste. We're here in the Rocky Worlds. We only just got a handful of Pokemon left for us to track down. And I just realized I never saved for this, but you know what? I'll risk it. Usually I don't do this, but oh well. Here we go. Legend says that one creature shares eternal life, and for thousands of years, it forms a tree before its revival. Its mystic horns are said to divide into 7 colors, said to present everlasting life. It is well known for restoring the life that was once destroyed by many disasters, Pokemon and humans alike. But if one should ever dare approach this creature, must proceed with extreme caution, because it radiates beauty that'll drive you blind! Xerneas! At first glance, we all thought it was a part steel type, but it was deceiving us from the very start. When we encounter it, an Ultra Sun, level 60, Fairy type, Fairy Aura for its signature ability. Armed with the moves Horn Leech, Night Slash, Moon Blast, and its signature move of Geomancy. This is a very interesting Pokemon to say the least, and I'm gonna be honest, it's gonna be one of my absolute favorite Pokemon in all of Generation 6. Geomancy, its signature ability. It absorbs the energy and sharply raises special attack, special defense, and speed on the next turn. This is a very interesting move. Especially since it has some of those lackluster defense and special defense, really, but mostly special defense in this case, but you might actually do worse with this if you know how to use it. Fairy Aura, its signature ability, I want to correct something. Geomancy's signature move, Fairy Aura, is its signature ability. It powers up each fairy type move. This is a very nice ability. It'll increase in all fairy type moves by a whopping 33% for all Pokemon on the field. This is something not worth really looking into unless if you plan on using this in double battles. It's not bad to say the least, but it definitely has its high highs and low lows. But other than that, Xerneas is here in Ultra Sun. It is a beloved Pokemon, and I love it to death. Legends have foretold of a dangerous monster that is said to have wings as glow as red. It is said that it is the true opposite of an environmentalist, a vampire, in a way. It is said that it can absorb all the life force in living creatures, destroying everything in its path. Even with a single flap of its wings, many fear this fearsome beast. And very few have ever lived to tell the tale of the monster that we know as Yvonne! And yes, Yvonne definitely lives up to that very reputation. In Ultra Moon, Level 60, Dark Flying type, Dark Aura for its signature ability, Dark Pulse, Phantom Force, Psychic, and how could we possibly forget its signature move, Oblivion Wing? This thing is a Pokemon. It has the exact same stats as Xerneas, and even with that Dark Aura ability, it really knows how to handle such a move with great care. It will receive a whopping 33% boost to all Dark-type moves. I think you might be seeing where we're going with here. And of course, how could we forget about its signature move, Oblivion Wing? This is an 80 power, 100 accuracy, special flying type move that will restore over half of its damage taken by the target. So basically, it's a flying version of Giga Drain. And oh boy! If you've seen how this thing works in the anime, or I guess in this case in the film, when I first saw that, it gave me nightmares. Fortunately, that's pretty much all it's ever really going for. If you really want to have a very good Pokemon that knows how to get the job done, it knows how to handle its opponents with the greatest of care, or I guess in this case, destruction, then you could get no further than that of a bottle. Unfortunately, that's where all the real positives end. A majority of the moves that it learns are Dark and Flying type, maybe throw in a Psychic Dragon and maybe a Fighting type move. But I would definitely suggest that you kind of mix things up a little bit, especially since if you want to go up against some Pokemon that have the advantage over it, like in this case, 4 to be more precise. It's still a great Pokemon, but it's still held back by a few. Alrighty. Time to see if I can potentially catch her herself as a beauty. Hey, with the power such as that, why would we not want to use it to restore the environments that us dumbass people have done? Because as I always said, humanity is probably one of the most vicious creatures on the planet. But I want to be careful though, because I know that I'll definitely resist that, but wow, that is beautiful. Special attack, special defense, and speed rolls sharply, so that's gonna be a problem. Let me try headbutt. See what that does. Oh boy. Oh wow. Oh, okay. I thought it was gonna be worse than that, but I'll try to keep it in. Oh, Horn Leech. That restores a little bit of its HP after each use. Oh, come on! Well, I'll be right back. Okay, let's try this again. I swear I did not mean for that to happen, so, I'll just try to wither it. Actually, no. Gonna do the exact same thing that I did from before. Start off with a quick ball, and then carry on our way. And then we'll see what happens afterwards. Didn't even shake that one time. Come on. Ow. Alright, I'll see you guys in a little bit. At least until something interesting happens. Ugh. Here we go. Okay, come on! Okay, new strategy. I'm going to try to switch it up to probably be a little bit more... Maybe having a Poodle up there in front was probably a bad idea. Yeah, let's try this. Might be a bad idea, but I ain't giving up on this. A third time's the charm, hopefully. boy! I thought we'd be here a heck of a lot longer. Well, oh, right, I keep forgetting that whenever it's not in battle, it changes its appearance in a way. So, that was quite the embarrassment that I went through. Alright. So now, on to the next world. Alrighty. We're finally ready with our next Pokemon. Took me a little bit, but that means we're getting closer to finally reaching an end with this. They say that there's a group of legendary Pokemon that are known to protect the Pokemon from humans. This in particular one is said to be so powerful that it can destroy a castle with its effort to protect. When it's said that one shall fear its very power, it creates a powerful sword so powerful that even the sharpest sword will break upon contact. One should never dare face off against this monster if their heart is not pure and kind to Pokemon. Terrakion is definitely a Pokemon of that gimmick. When we encounter it, level 60, rock fighting type, justified for the ability, Swords Dance, Rock Slide, Stone Edge, and Sacred Sword. Sacred Sword used to be the signature ability of the Swords of Justice. This is a 90 power physically offensive, 90 power physical offensive fighting type move that it does not affect any changes to its target. This means it will ignore all defense and evasion stat changes. I think you might be seeing where we're going with this. It's best not to underestimate this particular Pokemon because I consider this to be probably the more powerful and also the more bulkiest. That doesn't sound like they make any sense at all, but I digress. If you want to have this Pokemon that knows how to get the job done and you know how you can rely on such great force, Terrakion is your guy. However, that's about where all the real positives end. Some of the biggest things that you should know is that a majority of the moves that it learns are actually, oddly, normal type. So you might want to potentially fix that. One level away and it will already be able to learn close combat. Not much really needs to be said about that. Plus, out of all the other members of the Swords of Justice, it is as a grand weakness, well, it's a grand total of 7 weaknesses. You manage to get by all that, and the fact that it has some pretty lackluster moves, and you might be seeing where I'm going with this, but just be careful how you go up against this thing. It is not one to be tolerated. Alright. Hopefully this won't take long. In fact, I actually kind of consider this to be probably one of the more annoying ones to catch. Doesn't mean that it is nigh uncatchable. So I'm gonna have to think this one through a little bit. Oh, you son of a bitch, I know what you're doing. You are powering up your physically offensive moves. Okay. Oh, crap. Well, I just kind of do it myself. Ooh. I'm definitely gonna have to change up my strategy a little bit. Uh-oh. Okay, good. It's a good thing I was able to resist that. Fortunately, thanks to stamina, I'll be able to resist it even more. Okay. So my ultimate goal is to try to keep withering this thing down for as much as I can. And we should be okay from there. Battling. I'm also going to... well, that's for repeating the source. Oh, you know what? Roto Catch. That'll help. Ugh, Sacred Sword. That was definitely something that I probably should have been taken into consideration. So, whoops! So, here goes. Going in. Oh my god. Okay. I needed a breather. I honestly thought that was gonna take longer than I anticipated, so, especially since that I was literally down to 2 Pokemon left. I fear the worst was gonna happen, so... oh. Okay, so there's only just a handful of Pokemon left for us to find, and then in terms of not going after them, in terms of having exclusive Pokemon come to us, but look at that. All of that came from Terrakion. I think you might be seeing it for where I'm going with this and for what's going to be coming up later on down the road. Because by my estimate, in terms of the Pokemon that we need to find just on the run with no exclusions, I think we may have only just maybe a handful of Pokemon left. Like, I think... yeah, I think maybe 4 more Pokemon, so... here we go. See you in a moment. Alright. We're in the presence of another Pokemon. Here we go. The Swords of Justice have been known to save our Pokemon from terrible people for as long as time has turned. With a body of heart of steel, it remains calm and composed. The leader of the Swords of Justice has guided them all into sacred grounds, fighting against humans in defenses of universe regions and Pokemon, and even beyond. Cobalion! Despite what you want to think from all that, he definitely lives up to that reputation. He is a natural born leader, and he's earned it. Level 60. Steel fighting type. Justified for the ability. Sacred Sword, Swords Dance, Quick Attack, Iron Head. This is the more defensive member of the group, and this is actually probably one of the more balanced out members of the Swords of Justice. Unfortunately, despite it being the leader, I actually consider it to be a little bit more squishy than you would think. I'm actually a little surprised that it doesn't come with Metal Burst for one of the moves that it'll start off with. And once again, at the next level, it'll know close combat. You may have a lot of resistances. In fact, it has 2 quad resistances, a Rock and Bug, which is our, I guess, some pretty decent ones I have in mind. But unfortunately, it can't take a lot of special hits in it to save its neck. So be mindful of what you're going to be seeing, for what you're going to be seeing from the from the leader of the Source of Justice. And unfortunately, its apprentice Keldeo is not in the game to save its life, just in case. Alright, so we got no time to waste. And I believe that if I looked at it correctly, we have, after this, 2 more specific legendary Pokemon for us to find. It'll take me a little while, but I assure you, finding them is going to be pretty easy. Because they're all going to be in this very same world. Ooh, Ironhead. So, I'll check up with you guys in a little bit until something interesting happens. I guess we could technically call that interesting, because holy crap. Whoa! Wait. So, I accidentally chucked a quick ball at it, and it pretty much becomes as weak as a Pokeball. So I technically caught it in a Pokeball. What? Well, I guess I'll take it. I don't like to have any choice but to take it. So, I guess, with that, on to our next legendary. Okay. And by looking at this closely, this is actually the second to last Pokemon that we can find in both versions. So, I've made a decision. We're going out into the last remaining Pokemon that are like this. Another member of the Swords of Justice is known to be the one to race through the fields, saving those with such incredible speed. It is said that this particular member, albeit the swift one, definitely makes up for the kindness that it has. It says to possess a horn so hard and sharp that he may as well consider them to be swords. But when one should ever dare approach it, they best take with absolute care before it swifts you to the end! Horizon! What it lacks it in that bulk definitely makes it up for its speed. Level 60, Grass Fighting type, justified for the ability. Sacred Sword, Swords Dance, Giga Drain, Leaf Blade. Right off the bat, you can tell that this is a really nice Pokemon. And of course, one level away, we'll learn in close combat. But, okay, I've been dreading this one. I consider this one to be just as good and the fastest. And what it lacks in the bulk, it's now more of a special wall, which is a little unusual from when you see it in fighting types. Be absolutely sure you know how to use it, because with a quad weak to flying, and even though that Terrakion has one weakness more than Virizion here, you could definitely tell that this is a Pokemon that means a lot of good potential, but it's held back by a few things. However, there is some pretty cool things about Virizion that I love about it. Not only will it learn close combat in one level away, but it's even capable of learning, and I kid you not when I say this, superpower. Something you don't usually see very often. The Swords Dance with something like that, even though that it kind of lacks it in the physical bulk, I think you might be seeing that this one could be pretty good to have. The only big thing to really be careful with is, like I said, it's a known to be a special swift Pokemon, but I guess if you want to try to have some fun and creativity with it, by all means, it's right here. Alright, we got no time to waste. So after this, there's only one more Pokemon for us to go after. And my ultimate goal is to try to get this as soon as possible, so I can at least have a chance to try to catch it before the day ends. Oh, what am I saying? The day ends at this other point, like 2.5 hours. And I've actually been at this for a couple of nights now. That's why I've been so dedicated into getting these legendary Pokemon while I'm taking care of episode RR. So, let's get it in the red. Nice. And you know what? Let's kind of mix things up a little bit and try to be stupid with trying to catch it in some Pokeballs that's not really meant to be used for. Okay, I swear to God, if that nest ball caught it, I would have flipped. Yeah, like that's gonna do any good. Might as well keep talking a while and try to handle with this. But I'm pretty sure we're not gonna get much into it. That actually made a lot more progress than I thought. Okay, so see you in a little bit until I catch this thing. Or unless something else happens. To catch this thing? Come on! I guess they really want me to get through this as soon as possible, and I probably have to cut nothing out of this one. Well, I guess it wasn't the first time that's happened, but I guess with all that, we have one more Pokemon here for us to track down, so I'm gonna go after this, and I will see you in just a moment. Alright, we are down to our last Pokemon. Until we bring in version exclusive in together to search for certain legendaries that appear only with them. So, got no time to waste. Let's get to it. According to Universe legend, there's said that there's a special dragon that sides with those is the bringer of truth. It is said that this Pokemon can shoot fire so hot that buildings would burn him from one shot. It is said that with enough power, it can reach us and fly faster than a jet airplane, and it will release flames just as hotter than the sun. If the flames are blue, Regiram, Pokemon of Truth, has come before us today. When you encounter it in Ultra Sun, level 60, Dragon Fire type, Turbo Blaze for its signature ability, with the moves Slash, Extra Sensory, Dragon Pulse, and how could we possibly forget its signature move, Fusion Flare? Fusion Flare is a 100 power, 100 accuracy, special fire type move. It actually has a little bit of more of a use for it if a certain occasion were to happen. It becomes more powerful when influenced by an enormous thunderbolt. This means that if it gets hit by a move called Fusion Bolt, then this one will mean that it will see a massive increase in power. Like, I think it'll probably be doubled that amount. What's really cool is that Fusion Flare is not its signature move. Well, only signature move. At level 100, it is capable of learning the move Blue Flare, a 130 power, 85 accuracy, special fire type move that has a 20% chance of burning the target. I think you might be seeing where we're going with this one. Bringing it down into how this is as a Pokemon. This is how a true Dragon Fire type is supposed to be. Eat your heart out, Charizard. Unfortunately, while it has such great moves to back up Hunter for what it said, for being a great, especially offensive Pokemon, it definitely made it up for the fact that its moves are very diverse, and even though that a majority of the moves that it learns are actually kind of all over the place, like mostly fire and dragon types, it actually knows some pretty variety of moves and that can complement on how good it can handle. In fact, it even has only 3 weaknesses: ground, rock, and dragon. And even a quad resist to fire and grass can't have nothing wrong with that. Just be mindful that it is meant to be a special wall, not much else. And don't give this thing any physically offensive moves unless if you know how to properly use them. There is another tale that talks about a dragon that only descends upon a worthy opponent, worthy warrior, to bring in the world of ideals. It is said that it can reach electricity that is so powerful that it drains electric Pokemon from their power. Its tail spins as fast as a mortar and can generate bolts of lightning to blast its surroundings, and that it could wipe us all out in one shot. In universe, it is said that to concealing in lightning clouds, it creates electricity from the very tail that what strikes the lightning bolts onto the ground from above. Zekrom! Probably one of the most badass dragon types that you'll be seeing out there. An Ultra Moon, level 60, Dragon Electric type, Terravolt for its signature ability, Slash, Z Headbutt, Dragon Claw, and its signature move, Fusion Bolt. It's disciplining much in the physical oriented to that of Fusion Flare. And also, at level 100, it is capable of learning the move Bolt Strike. It's pretty much the exact same as Blue Flare, but with physically offensive, electric type, and has a 20% chance of dealing a paralysis. I was saving it till now, but its signature ability of, Terravolt and Regiram's Turbo Blaze will activate if they're hit with Fusion Flare and or Fusion Bolt, depending on the Pokemon that you are facing with that certain ability. I think you could tell, Hunter, for why I'm considering this to be one of the most interesting Pokemon to have, but it is a very hard hit to use. Unfortunately, it has some more weaknesses, like counting 4. And like with Regiram, some of the moves that it knows naturally are through his specially oriented. But the moves that it knows through TMs and even through tutoring, something that you might want to consider maybe looking into if you plan on using Zekrom. Just be mindful that it's physically oriented, it is a really cool Pokemon, and damn, you might as well consider it to be one of the most badass Pokemon that you'll find in Pokemon White, and so on and so forth. Alright, time to go out to the first true Fire Dragon type. Or, whoops, excuse me, Dragon Fire type. That was a critical hit. Alright. Oh, whoa! I'll just stick to bite. I don't know if I should risk doing another move. But I'm definitely hoping that I'll get a chance to use that Fusion Flare, because that is probably one of the most badass Pokemon moves I've seen. And yep, there it is. Alright, so I guess with that, time to see on how long I can take to finally catch this son of a gun. And to prove out how much of a truthful person that I can really be. Alright! The Pokemon of Truth has been caught! Okay! Whew. That was close. And it's a real shame because these legendary Pokemon that are found through the Ultra Wormholes, they don't... The person that exuded its overwhelming power seems to have disappeared. So that means we have encountered the last legendary Pokemon that we can find in this in a particular world. At least I think that's how it works. Yeah, that's the case. That is all the legendary Pokemon from here. So, with that, we're ending things off from right here. Next time, we start bringing in conversion exclusive Pokemon together to go after certain Pokemon that can only be found with the group with there, alright? See you guys then.